nightmare has arrived. The son of a dream looking to realize his destiny in WWE. Multiple tag team and intercontinental championship reigns during his first run here in WWE. But now that the prodigal son has returned, Cody Rhodes has reached main event status.
Konnichiwa, minasan. I'm Great Oka Unite Empire. 今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよ。みんなブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Yeah, hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best revolution.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our amazing co-host, the reigning, defending, Broken Predictions champion, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
Well, Jeff, so now that I've finished The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I've started playing AEW Fight Forever, and I'm pleased to announce that Cody Rhodes is currently 0-5,
Nice.
with no intention of it getting any better for him.
Nice. Well, speaking of the Zelda game, I did fix your Twitter handle down below under your screen to Highly in Rome.
Oh, good.
I believe that's your new Twitter handle there.
Yes.
Awesome. Everybody go ahead and go hit, the follow button over on the old Twitter for Rome there. And welcome to episode 157 for the AEW Dynamite review here at the Broken Tables podcast. The only fully interactive wrestling podcast on YouTube. Any questions you guys have, throw them in chat. Any opinions you guys have about each segment, throw them in chat and we'll address them. We'll make you guys part of the show. So welcome everybody in chat. We got Ed Weber, we got Coach Nick, we got Michael Duke. Welcome everybody here. Love you guys always being here. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. This was an awesome episode of Dynamite from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm wearing all my Canada gear here tonight. Got the hat on, got the AEW Canada shirt. This was a good episode, but I gotta say, Collision is still the A show. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, Collision hasn't happened this week yet, Jeff.
I'm talking about overall, but we'll see on this Saturday how that episode goes.
So, no, Ed, I didn't really. It must have popped out when I grabbed it from my hat thing. I have a little thing with all my.
I didn't even notice. I hate when the tag flips out like that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they even bother having them on there. Who
I
needs
usually
a
rip
fucking
them out.
tag for a hat? It's ridiculous.
Definitely, I would rip them out.
Yeah,
So
I usually do, but I forgot for this.
yeah. So did you expect the episode to start off with Jericho versus Commander here tonight? I actually was really expecting Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin to open the show tonight.
No, because there's a little bit of a storyline with Orange Cassidy and the whole tag tournament and everything like that. So I thought that actually Jericho versus Commander made the most sense, especially because they were possibly teasing Jericho to join the BCC, but as I predicted, it was a red herring.
Yeah, it was a red herring. This was a great match though. Jericho versus Commander. Commander is just awesome, man. I like how they called him the Commander of the Skies. That's a great little nickname there. I absolutely like it. We had classic Jericho here, big, strong chops. As soon as he could get his hands on Commander, he chopped the living bejesus out of him. But I was wondering here, remember last week Jericho's promo where he was like, there's going to be a different Jericho, and it almost felt like he was being a little bit of a babyface in that promo. And then he just went completely heel here in this match, you know? So I was kind of like, man, Jericho's like bouncing all over the place here a little bit. Do you think that's on purpose so that we don't know where he's going to land, you know, with this whole Don Callis family thing? Or, you know, what do you think?
No, absolutely. That's exactly why they were doing it in this way. They wanted to make it seem like Jericho, and this doesn't mean that Jericho's not going to join Don Callis, but I mean it was set up in a way where last week Jericho was teasing maybe he has to be a good guy again. He's going to make the turn. Fans are going to get excited, and then Don comes out, and so now he's it was intended that way.
Yeah, I agree. So like I said, this was a great match. We had that awesome rope walk that Commander does. He walked the entire top rope, does his super awesome flip off the top to the outside. Um, this was great. He hits a huge Phoenix splash onto Jericho, gets a 2.999. Jericho basically works his way back and pulls out the Lion Tamer and taps him out. So Jericho pulls out the win here with the Lion Tamer submission. And Don Callis shows up and kind of, you know, just claps for Jericho a little bit there. What'd you think of the end of this one here?
I thought it was a really good match. I really liked the finish of it. Thought it was a really cool, unique finish because it's kind of a throwback to have Jericho wrestling a luchador on TBS. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciated the history there, and I thought it was really cool for the veteran Jericho who has spent decades wrestling that style against that style to be able to counter, and lead it into the walls. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really smart film.
Yeah, me too. And then Callis, he basically is trying to convince Jericho still to join the Callis family there. And he shows a video package of himself and Jericho from back in like 1995, I think it was. And who was what was the name of their mentor? For some reason, I did not write it down and it's escaping me right now.
That was Bad News Allen.
Bad News Allen. There we go. And, you know, Callis is kind of trying to pull on the heartstrings of Jericho, saying that, you know, they promised him that they would stay a team for forever, I guess is the way they're putting it here. And, you know, Jericho, even as he was getting out of the ring, kind of did the whole like look up to the heavens type thing. So that was definitely an interesting video package they played there. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that the intention here is to make everyone think that Jericho is the one. Again, he was a red herring, um, where they made it seem like he was going to be the fifth guy, and it doesn't mean he's not going to join Don Callis. I still think that might be a possibility, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, we already know it's not the case. He's not the fifth guy. We already know who the fifth guy is. But I
Also,
thought
Ed
this was
said,
a really good post-match segment here with Don and Jericho. I think that
"Yep,
kind of dipping into the
completely agree."
history and making it obviously bad. You don't know for sure that Bad News Allen said that to Chris there, where he's like,
No,
"Stay
yeah,
together." He could have said anything. We don't know, but it's cool for them to say like, "Oh, you see that? That's what he just said right there." Like,
yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
yeah. All right, Ed in the chat says Jericho botched the rope walk spot. He sidestepped and missed the catch. Yeah, he definitely wasn't in the best spot, is the way that I would put it. And they had the camera directly behind him, so it kind of highlighted where Jericho was standing. But if they had seen that from a different angle, it probably looked pretty good still. The crowd really liked it, so it probably looked great from the other three angles, you know what I mean? But this was a great match. Love seeing Commander. I do agree with chat here that it sucks that Commander's a little bit of a exciting jobber right now. But I think in the future we'll get to see him. He'll blossom into a pretty good star here. He's still very young. When you get to see that camera close up, you can see he's a young guy under that mask.
Yeah, I mean, he's I think 24.
Yeah,
So I mean, I
not even
get
in his prime
I
yet.
get the point where it's like, oh, he's just an exciting jobber, but
Ed said it landed like a Charlotte moonsault. You gotta say though that that's not Charlotte's fault, right? Like, you know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
All right. Next up, we had a nice video package for Hook versus Jack Perry, and they had Jack's car waiting again, and Alex Marvez knocks on the window. Jack rolls the window down, saying this is a unsafe work environment. He does his work inside the ring, not in the parking lot like a New York thug. And as he says that, Hook rips the security guard out of the other side of the vehicle. Jack jumps out of his side of the vehicle and he winds up elbowing Hook in the face. Jack takes off, and Hook sold that elbow a little bit more than I would have wanted him to. He kind of stumbled out of the car there, you know what I mean? Like, but he gets up and he tells Jack, he says, keep running, and so we still got Jack Perry running away from Hook. How you liking this?
So I continue to really love what they're doing right now with this feud with Jack and Hook. I think it's really good. I've definitely really loved it. Something that it's a small thing, but it's something that I really appreciated is so when Jack's in the car and Hook gets in the car too, Jack's trying to get away. Jack can't open the door, and he's like, "Why can't I open the door?" Like, and you think like, "Oh, he's just being an idiot." But no, the child lock is on. So he has to reach outside the car to open the door.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was intentional, but I'm going to give them the credit and say it is, because afterwards, when Jack dives out and closes the door, the reason that he's able to get away from Hook is because Hook gets stuck up on the same child lock on the door. So he's also like, what the hell? And I got to get out through the... So I don't know. It's a little thing, but again, I always really appreciate the little things, and I'm going to give them the credit and say that was probably intentional. So
Jack.
It makes it so like, well, Jack wasn't just like an idiot. Like, that's a common thing. Like, oh, it was a child lock. This is probably not actually his car. It's a chauffeur car. So it's believable that he would know the child lock was on. So,
and he said damn child locks, like he said it, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see. I didn't catch him saying that.
Yeah, Jack actually, when his door handle wouldn't open, he was like, damn child locks, and he reached out and opened it. So that's good that you caught that and actually didn't hear that. So that's even better,
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And again, this is really awesome segment. No, so Jack tweeted that he's tired of showing up to work not feeling safe. He said, "Screw it, I'm going to Hawaii." So I wonder if that's gonna set up for Hook to like fly to Hawaii.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe they start doing this thing where like Hook's just chasing Jack down no matter where Jack goes. Can't get away from him.
They should have it where like he keeps seeing him like in the mirror, but he's not actually there. Like he's seeing the ghost of Hook. That'd be awesome.
I don't think we need to get into the supernatural. We'll just keep it as it is.
Well, it'd be more like a mental thing, like out of the corner of his eye, he keeps on thinking he's seeing him, but it's just some kid with scruffy hair or, some surfer.
I guess so. I just keep thinking about Undertaker Randy Orton at WrestleMania 21. What a weird. Well, not weird. No, because it was the Undertaker. But...
Could be great. Could be great. All right. Next up, we had Renee with Don Callis, and he says that he's going to be going out to the ring alone to announce who the fifth member of the Blackpool Combat Club is, what they kept actually saying tonight. So I thought it was going to be the Don Callis family type thing, but they made sure to say the Blackpool Combat Club multiple times here. So, Callis says he's going to announce the fifth member by himself later. So we'll see what happens there. We'll get into that.
I thought that it was really interesting. And again, I did note in the Discord, Don being on the phone was kind of where I was like, it makes you think that it's not Jericho, because again, in AEW, they do things for a reason. Like there's an intention behind most of the things that they do. Like walking past a Pepsi machine. But like Don being on the phone there, like why else would Don in kayfabe right then and there be on the phone and then be asked about the fifth man? So
exactly, yep. Speaking of the Pepsi machine, isn't it hilarious that the United Center has now made Pepsi their official sponsor of the arena, I guess, with Pepsi Fill and all that stuff?
Yep, another one for CM Punk.
I love it. Next up, we had MJF and Adam Cole doing their men's bonding in their video package. They were at a bar, and some ladies walked by, said, "What's up, fellas?" And MJF's kind of like, "Yo, two for you, two for me." And Adam Cole, being the good guy that he is like, "Dude, I'm with Britt. I love Britt. Like, knock it off, man." And MJF is like, "Well, four for me then." and um, Adam Cole basically says, if you want me to wear that shirt, we got to do something that I want to do. And it turns out that Adam Cole wanted to play the AEW Fight Forever video game, which MJF was not happy about. But Adam Cole says, look, dude, you can play as yourself. The game's amazing. And as they start playing, MJF starts to love the game. And Adam Cole realizes that MJF has never played a multiplayer game before. And MJF is kind of like, well, yeah, you kind of need friends for that. And dude, this actually got me, man. I was like, oh, poor MJF. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I was really feeling bad for MJF for just a moment there. And I loved this segment so much. It's not even funny. Like, I think this is my favorite thing in wrestling right now. This is my favorite storyline in wrestling right now.
So, something I really liked was when MJF and Adam Cole sit down to play Fight Forever, MJF says he doesn't want to play Fight Forever, because that's weirdo, virgin, weeboo, nerd shit. And Adam Cole says, yeah, but your stats are so good in this game. And MJF's like, man, it's actually really fun when you play games with a friend. And Adam Cole's like, what, you've never played a multiplayer game before? And then MJF fucking looks to the side and he's like, you gotta have friends to do that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it got me, bro. I was like, oh. I was like, poor
I was
MJF.
like, man, there is. I'm not tearing up there. I swear.
Yeah, you are. I see it. I saw it.
It's crazy to me that they're able to have this hilarious video package going on, and then dip into the emotion like that. And it shows MJF and his absolute skill at the craft, including later in the match going down to the ring and working as an uber babyface. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this, and it's heartbreaking because I really want them to win the World Tag Team Champion. I really want that. This team is such a home run, and I really want to see them do it. But they're not going to win.
Man, I do too. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to see FTR lose to them, but I really do want to see them go on a run, at least a nice run.
So yeah, I'm devastated personally, or I will be devastated.
All right. Next up, we had Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. This was a great tag match. I gotta put that out there. This was a really good tag match. Sammy and Garcia hitting each other multiple times throughout this match really had me thinking that, that Darby and Orange Cassidy were going to win this one. But Prince Nana shows up, causes some distraction, allowing Swerve to hit a huge shot onto Darby. It looked like a house call on the apron. Sammy hits the GTH on Darby and picks up the 1, 2, 3. I was not expecting Swerve to interfere in this one, maybe I should have, he is involved in this whole Darby stuff, but man, it caught me by surprise really good here. I was actually like, I really enjoyed it because of how off guard it caught me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of a toss up here. I don't know. I guess I was kind of leaning towards Cassidy and Darby winning. But I mean, regardless, I thought this was a really good match. I thought it was great. I love the chemistry that all four of these guys have, to be honest. I mean, love seeing Sammy and Darby continue their story of mutual respect through rivalry. Obviously, Garcia and Orange Cassidy going at it's really good too. So yeah, this is a really great match. A lot to enjoy here.
Yeah, if you enjoy tag team wrestling, this was a good one. So, like I said, Sammy and Garcia pick up the win here, so they are moving on in the Owen Hart tournament. Next up, we had a Nick Wayne video package, basically about his training throughout his life and about his dad passing away. This was a really good video package, kind of introducing the fan base who may not know who he is. If you don't know who he is yet, this was a good little video package for him. Just turned 18, and he's gonna make his debut here later tonight. So I enjoyed the video package. It was good.
I think they've done a really good job. Oh damn, they just dropped a new Elite shirt, and it's the Elite, but it's golden.
Yeah, the Golden Elite. Let's go.
It's really nice. I really like how little video packaging they've done for Nick Wayne, but the amount that they've able to achieve with the two videos they've done is really good. It's really impressive. They're very well made video packages back to back. And yeah, I mean, I was really excited to see Nick Wayne wrestle later in the night.
Yeah, I got that Golden Elite shirt up right now with the graphic they put. Man, Ibushi looks so badass in between the Young Bucks. Oh, dude, that's sick. This might be the first Young Bucks shirt I grab, or Elite shirt I grab. I actually don't have a Bucks or Elite shirt by some crazy weird somehow.
So you know you're not a real one.
I guess so. Damn. I'd like just realized that the other day too. I was like, damn, I don't have a Bucks shirt. What the hell? But yeah, that's freaking awesome. All right, next up we had Adam Cole with Renee Paquette. She was trying to ask Adam Cole some questions, but he seemed to be on the phone getting yelled at by Britt Baker. Roderick Strong shows up as well. He gets off the phone. Roderick's wearing his neck brace and just can't believe that MJF has kind of weaseled his way into becoming Adam Cole's friend. He can't believe it, huh?
Ed says he has a Big Show shirt, I bet. We all know that Jeff has a Big Show shirt.
I own one WWE shirt, and it is a yellow John Cena shirt. It's horrible.
I don't know if... Chad, is that worse than owning a Big Show shirt? The yellow John Cena shirt? The ugly... Hold on, I need to look it up.
It's the really bad yellow, you can't see me. Yeah, it's bad.
I want to look at it again because it's been years since I've seen it.
So Purpleness took me to Raw.
God.
Purpleness took me to Raw in Philly, and The Rock gave John Cena the rock bottom right after I buy that shirt. I was like, oh, yeah, nice.
This is something that I would expect a 5-year-old to wear. And you wear this. You wear this shirt.
I don't even know exactly where it is, but I believe I have worn it, yes.
I like the thing. In fact...
let me... Do you have the picture? Because I don't have it up here.
Yeah.
Send it to me.
I don't want to send it to you because then I'm gonna have to save the image in my computer.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry about it then. I'm sure y'all can picture a yellow shirt with John Cena cartoon doing the stupid thing. And
yeah, no, I found a link. I can just...
Coach, that is the Lakers are the last team in the league that you would call me a fan of. I promise. The last team in the league.
There you go. It's on eBay for $30. My God. Ugh.
That's what I paid for it. So. Here,
The thing is, I like to imagine. Let me know when it's on this. For everyone to...
Did you send it to the right one this time?
Yeah, I sent it to Broken Tables, and I know how to screenshot, but I didn't feel like... Yeah, no, but I didn't feel like doing it, so I sent him the eBay. I don't need somewhere on my computer to be screenshotted, so I have a picture of a John Cena t-shirt on my computer. I didn't want...
I think you sent it to the wrong one again. It's the Jeffrey Vegas one.
Bro, last week you said to send it to the other. This is ridiculous.
No, you'll see.
No, I know. You said last week I sent you the meme, you're like, it's not the right one. And now it's the other.
There you go. There's the shirt.
Yeah, there's the shirt that Jeff wears every Monday and Friday night.
Dude, the worst part about it is it's like so thick that it's hot. You know what I mean? Like it's like two shirts in one. It's really weird.
I like to imagine That every Monday night and Friday night, and probably on Tuesdays too. To me, Jeff has this hanging up in his closet, and every week, 3 times a week, he goes into his closet, grabs this shirt off the hanger, puts it on, and watches Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and all that stuff. And
I can
then,
assure you, I do not.
right, just like you could assure me, you happen to go to Chili's every single time there's a WWE big pay-per-view happening.
Chili's. I was there once, man. Once. I don't even think it was Chili's. It was somewhere else. I don't remember.
Oh, I remember. I remember everything. Ed has given the verdict that that's worse than a Big Show shirt.
That's worse than a Big Show shirt, really. Okay.
I would concur with that because I can look. I mean, yeah, that's one of the
Like-
worst John Cena shirts.
My wife took me to a Raw show, and it was my first show, and John Cena was like the shit back in, what was that, 2012? Yeah, 2013 maybe.
Also, LOL at Jeff being twice my age but going to his first wrestling show in 2012. That's cute. It's real
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Buying
I
John
had no,
Cena merch.
I had
I
no
remember-
friends that were fans in Vegas, and never
You know,
wound
to
up-
be fair,
never wound
I
up
remember
going.
buying John Cena merch at my first show as well. I mean, I was in my teens, my early
Yeah.
teens, but I mean, I guess. I mean, I bought a John Cena shirt when I was 12, 13.
I think I was 25, 26 maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Something got me.
but also my John Cena shirt, the one I bought, that was when John Cena was cool. See, the thing people don't understand is there was a period of time when John Cena was cool,
There was.
and
The
that's when
spinning
I was a
belt,
John.
man. Oh.
And then he
Dude, it
became
took
not
everything
cool.
I had to just ignore the spinning belt, man. I hated that thing so bad. But let's move on here. We'll go. So what did you think of the Roderick Strong just can't believe that Adam Cole's becoming friends with MJF?
So I can't wait. I can't wait for MJF to reveal that he paid Samoa Joe to attack Roderick.
Ooh.
I can't wait for this.
Ooh, I didn't
can't-
think of that.
I can't wait for MJF to turn on Adam Cole, because the fact that Roderick Strong is still selling this neck brace weeks later means that it matters. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to do this where MJF is going to turn on Adam Cole. It's going to break my heart. And then to really wedge that in, he's going to be like, and your friend Roddy, I paid Joe to do it. Or or something, like the video is going to come out of what, actually MJF might not even turn on Cole at first. He may just video is going to surface of him paying Joe off. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be like, no. That's gonna be good. I can't wait. All right, next up we had Big Bill and Brian Cage versus MJF and Adam Cole, and Adam Cole was wearing the shirt. The crowd with a huge pop when Adam Cole reveals takes his jacket off and shows that he's wearing the shirt. Speaking of the crowd, this crowd was awesome here tonight. Usually I mention that at the top of the show there, but this crowd was fantastic in what was it? Saskatoon was the name of this place. Great crowd here, great crowd. And this match was freaking hilarious, dude. I absolutely loved how MJF tried to pick up Big Bill, but he kind of hurts his back, and he's just like, nope, never mind. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. And Adam Cole chases him down and says, listen, come on. We got to get back to the ring. We got to finish this match. And MJF kept trying to pick up Big Bill or Brian Cage, and he just couldn't do it. But Big Bill makes the mistake of ripping the shirt that MJF has had made for him and Adam Cole. He rips it off of MJF's body, and he kind of wipes his ass with it a couple of times. And this visibly pissed off Adam Cole and also MJF. And MJF winds up hitting a big, just a basic body slam onto Big Bill. And the crowd went freaking nuts here. And, this is one of those times where the crowd understood the assignment. You know what I mean? Like the whole match, MJF was just like trying to pick him up, couldn't do it. And then when he finally gets it done right before a hot tag, the crowd just knew we got to blow up right here. And it was great. I freaking loved that whole sequence with MJF finally getting that body slam. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I love MJF working as, again, I said it earlier. I love him working as this super crazy baby face where he comes out and he's like doing like the high fives to the crowd, grabbing signs and going like, "Yeah, man, we're." And then so Adam Cole goes to stand on the apron. He's about to do do the boom, and like the music's playing. It's doing like the drum part, and MJF is standing below him like rocking out to the drum solo. He's like, and I'm like dying. I'm just absolutely dying. So funny. And
So
I'm what what'd you
what
say?
it looked like MJF was doing right there is there was one time that Big E was doing that to Seth Rollins' entrance. Um, I was wondering if that was like an ode to Big E or something like that because it looked really similar to what Big E was doing for Seth Rollins' entrance.
I don't know, maybe, but I was just it was so enjoyable, and I'm gonna be
It
so
was great.
devastated when this tag team falls apart. It's gonna, but um, yeah, I thought this was a great match. I loved at one point that Tony Schiavone, who, to be fair, on commentary, I did notice all night that Tony Schiavone was kind of a stick in the like he was
Yeah.
constantly being a downer. At one point, Taz says, "You're a miserable and rotten old man, Schiavone."
Yeah. Because,
Um,
he hates Adam Cole and MJF. It's great.
yeah, well, so he doesn't hate Adam Cole, but Adam Cole hates him.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
But yeah, like he hated that video package. He says it earlier in the night when MJF and Adam Cole are hanging out. He's like, "That's a waste of 5 minutes. I'm not getting back." And I'm like, Schiavone. Uh,
So yeah, we got a
um,
huge hot tag to Adam Cole. Adam Cole uses a little bit of a heel tactic because MJF had done it right before him. He flicked Big Bill in the eyes. Adam Cole gets in. He flicks him in the eyes as well. MJF calls for the double clothesline, but Big Bill winds up hitting a double clothesline onto both of them instead. They get the upper hand back onto Big Bill, but Brian Cage comes in and hits a double clothesline on them also. And they couldn't seem to get that double clothesline going, but eventually excuse me, eventually MJF hits the heat seeker onto Brian Cage. Adam Cole hits the boom and picks up the 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. And they get the win, man. This was a freaking great match. Loved the storytelling throughout the entire match. And like I said, the crowd was a huge part of it. And, they knew the assignment. The crowd did absolutely fantastic here. Loved it.
so after the match, MJF grabs a microphone and he asks, because again, he's doing this babyface thing. He's like, "I got one question for everyone. Any devil worshippers in the house tonight?" And the crowd starts chanting for Satan. That was good. That was great.
Yeah, that raised my eyebrows. I was like, whoa. Okay, people.
MJF says, "Damn, I'm super over. Jeez, you know who else is over? This guy." He's like, "Do the thing." The whole
Do
crowd
the
starts
thing.
chanting, "Do the thing." In which case he does the Adam Cole Bebe. The at this point I noticed MJF had another elbow pad. This man every week has these elbow pads. The best elbow pad game of all time, professional, is
Yeah.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. His elbow pad said double clothesline.
Nice.
He's like, "We didn't get the double clothesline, but we're getting there. We're getting there." And Adam Cole says, "If we stay on the same page, you're looking at the new tag team champion." And they do it. They do the thing where Max says, "We're better than you," and then Adam Cole jumps in and says, "Baby."
But dude, the way that they did it is Adam Cole was like, "Tell him why, Max." And
Yeah,
Max was like, "'Cause we're better than you." And then he pulled the mic back and said, "Baby." It was so good.
yeah.
So good. And let's see, let's go to chat here real quick. Coach says that Big Bill needs to team up with Cage, but yeah, he needs to join the Mogul Embassy. Absolutely. I think that's a great fit for him. I really do feel like he would fit right in with that group of monsters.
So I would argue not to do it, just because I would say I want to see Big Bill kind of do his own thing.
I can agree with that too. I can
I
definitely
don't want
agree
it.
with
I
that.
don't want the embassy to just be like too many big guys, because at that point, like it's. I do think that Big Bill, Brian Cage is a great tag team, and I'd be totally cool with them being a tag team. But you look at the embassy, and outside of Swerve, it's like Brian Cage, who's a big dude. You got the Gates of
Yeah.
Agony, a bunch of big dudes. I don't know. I just don't want Bill to kind of get lost in the shuffle of the embassy.
Makes sense. I agree. All right, next up we had Jake Hager waiting at Chris Jericho's locker room with Renee Paquette. And, you know, he basically says Jericho is waiting for me, so let's go on in there. And he goes inside, he's talking to Jericho. And he basically says, you know, you got to tell me what's going on here because it's not just your career that's at stake, it's also mine, you know. And he gives Jericho back the purple hat. And, man, I was devastated, man. The giving him back the purple hat, man. I couldn't believe it.
So Jake walks in, and he wants to know if Chris is going to join Don. Jericho says that he's conflicted because he does think back to those days, and he has history with Don Callis and the history with Bad News Allen and all that. Jake's like, yeah, I can respect that you have history. I can respect that. Takes off the hat and he says, but we also have history. 10 years ago, I saved your life in Abu Dhabi. 4 years ago, I joined AEW because you asked me. I left behind an undefeated MMA career to come and be here with you in AEW. Until you're straight with me, I can't give you 100 though. He hands him the hat, walks away. And so I thought this was absolutely fantastic, just absolutely excellent. Really loved it. Makes me hate Don Callis even more because you think about fucking Don Callis and like he tried to separate the elite and now here he is separating Hager and Jericho. I don't think I've ever been so emotionally connected to a hat in my entire life. Where Jake Hager takes off this hat and gives it back to Chris. And I'm just like I felt deflated in that moment. I do wonder, my only question about this is he the line that he says 10 years ago I saved your life in Abu Dhabi. Now I need to know if that's like a callback to a WWE like Saudi show or if like that's just some
Yeah.
sort of funny line cuz like I don't know if Jack Swagger ever wrestled in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a USO tour thing. Like, remember when they used to go do tours for the troops and stuff? I don't
Yeah,
know if it was
I would
something
love
like
to
that,
know the
maybe.
history of that specifically because I was like, huh, okay. I mean,
I thought
regardless,
the
that's
same thing.
crazy.
I was like, what is he talking about? I want to know what that was about.
He's like, I saved your life. Holy shit, you saved his life? Okay.
All right, so next up we had Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue, who came out by herself against 3 other people again. So I loved the match. I loved everything about the match, even the interruptions. But
Oh, hold on.
go ahead.
Ed did some Googling to
Oh,
help
Ed
us out.
posted the story in Discord.
Yeah, he says Chris Jericho recalls bounty supposedly being put on him during a WWE tour. The following comes from Wrestling Inc. So, I mean, we're just going to roll with it because this is Raj Giri's site, but here we are. Weeks ago, Chris Jericho revealed, and this was back in 2021 when it was posted. Weeks ago, Chris Jericho revealed on Dynamite that Jake Hager once saved his life in Abu Dhabi. Oh, so that was even mentioned in AEW. I didn't even remember that. Today on Busted Open, Jericho revealed just what happened involving him and Hager while on tour with WWE. It's a true story, Jericho said. While we were in Abu Dhabi, 2012, Abu Dhabi's not like Saudi Arabia. There's a big party scene there. And it's not like a no women allowed type of vibe. It's very much a cool country to hang out in. We were at a club and some guy was being a loudmouth, and I suffer fools lightly. Is that an actual quote? I guess it is. So I walked by him and I body checked him into the wall. So I knocked the guy down and he got up and was furious. So later on, we left the club. Me and Jake are there with Mike Kyoto, a couple of other cats, Primo and Epico. We went downstairs. He was waiting there with a group of friends. And he said that his dad owned 27% of the country and that he had put a bounty on my head. $7 million bounty, and I'd be dead in 24 hours. I'd be assassinated in 24 hours. So then I went into Larry David mode, where I was like, $7 million, is that good? Is that a high amount? Is that an average amount? Like, if I was Brad Pitt, would it be 70 million? If I was a guy down the street, would it be $100? What's it going to be? Jericho admitted that he was nervous because of the bounty. Regardless, he went out in the club that night. Jake was behind me as I went face to face with the assassin who threatened my life and threatened to give $7 million to anybody who could do that. Jericho said. We stood up to the guys, and it was a pretty crazy 24 hours. I was a little bit nervous. Then I decided to stay in that night because I wanted the 24 hours to go by. But of course, I ended up in the club again anyways. And when I went to the club, the bouncer said, I see you're still alive. I said, yeah. Should I be worried? He said, that son of a bitch says that all the time. His dad doesn't own 27% of the country. He owns a gas station down the street. So I was not assassinated, but at the time, thought I might. Jake had my back.
That's hilarious.
So there you go.
All right. Well, that's actually pretty funny.
Now, also
Okay.
in the Discord, I believe Ed has tracked down the shirt that you probably own for the big show. And I can concur. It is better than the John Cena.
I mean, like I said, that's the only shirt I can admit to owning is the John Cena one.
Own. Exactly. That's the whole.
So like I said, this was a great match between Sky Blue and Ruby Soho. Like the Coug said, I loved Sky Blue's, Chuck Taylor's, and Tony Storm had some really nice Vans on. I'm always loving the shoe game in AEW. But like I said, I gotta have a problem here with these AEW original girls, whatever you want to call them. Every time they go up against the Outcast, they come out by themselves, and it drives me insane. Does it bother you as much as it does me?
I mean, it definitely does because I've said it every week for the last month or two.
It's like, man,
it's just like, why? Like, look, man. So my power went out, like right after the Outcast got thrown to the back. My power went out.
Yep. Okay.
And it came back on right after the match ended. But so I thought it was like ridiculous that I'm just like sitting here like right before my power went out, and I'm like in my notes, and I'm just like, the Outcasts are cheating again. Where is everybody?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like,
And
I get it the first couple times, but we've done it so many times now that now it's starting to bother us. Yeah, like
it's just straight up nonsensical. It is just straight up like, look, I understand it's how pro wrestling works, like the heel cheats and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like the babyface, it needs to be a game of one-upsmanship where the heel's gonna get away with one event. Like they're not always going to succeed to cheat. The heels succeed to cheat every single time because there's never any because these geeks, these freaking babyface geeks who might as well be a bunch of Cody Rhodeses, are just like walking around like, I can go to the ring by myself against the Outcasts. Nothing bad's happened every single match for the last July, for the last 6 months. And I'm just like, man, there was a point in time where this storyline was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. And again, I mean, for all we know, maybe the plan was to bring Mercedes in and then Mercedes broke her ankle. Or like whatever the reason is. And we talk about all the time, Tony Khan is notorious for not wanting to stray away from his vision. If he has a vision for an end point for a feud, he's going to see it out, and if he has to wait it out, he will. And I feel like that's what we're doing right now. I feel like we're just trying to make this storyline stretch longer than it needs. And like I think the other thing is that Jamie's hurt. They want to probably do Jamie versus Tony at All In a month and a half. But like what are we like where's Riho? Where's Sheeta? Where's Britt? I mean, again, like, okay, you can say that Jamie's hurt. Okay, I get that. Where's Willow? Like, it constantly just keeps happening, and it's borderline irritating. No, it
Yeah.
is irritating. It
And
it
remember,
absolutely does irritate me.
we felt like everything was heading towards blood and guts for the ladies, and
Yeah.
now we've got blood and guts announced, and they haven't even mentioned the ladies having a match, so I don't even think it's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, and that's even the coaches brought it up. It's like you could argue that like, okay, well, Shida might be in Japan. Okay, you could also argue the same for Riho, but like I think Willow's the one that really kind of comes across as like, why aren't you out there? And I understand, Coach, that in like I think in the kayfabe in the storyline, Rampage does not get taped after Dynamite. Rampage is its own
Yeah.
thing on Friday nights. So like it's not even that. It's just like, why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? Period. Like I don't know. It's very annoying. It's very frustrating. It's not entertaining, and I'm actually kind of borderline glad that my power cut out right when the match happened. If there was any part of the show where I would have been okay missing it, it was this point. And it's not that I hate Ruby or Sky Blue. Um, it's not that. I mean, because like they did they Ruby did a really good promo on the Road to Dynamite thing last, where it was a really good promo, and I was digging it a lot. I was like, this is
Yeah,
great. Ruby's really killing it with their promo game this month,
for sure.
and Sky's been stepping up. Like again, it's not a knock against any of the talent in the division. It's just a lack of direction. Just like where are we going with this? Coach says I
Yep,
got
and,
lucky. I absolutely did get lucky.
I would say I agree with Ed, and, it's probably my one thing that I could give, Tony Khan, a knock for is when he does have these injuries or things like this affect his storylines, he does need to learn how to pivot a little better. He just kind of puts things on hold, and I think he could do a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I think he needs to. And again, I mean, obviously, for what it's worth, it's not a bad Like, if you're going to have a shortcoming, I don't think that it's like the worst of the shortcomings you could have. But I mean, it is frustrating to see. I mean, like, I just feel like there's so much we could be doing. Like, there's got to be something you can do to kind of shake it up, to change it where, like, I would rather them at least be doing just meaningless trios matches at this. Like, at least then you could say, well, the baby faces are not being the biggest idiots of all time. Like, they're not being geeks. Like, they're fighting 3-on-3 against the outcast. So like that, like, it's not much better, but like you got to be somewhat smarter about it. Like, how many weeks are we going to see? Um, how many more weeks are we going to see the outcasts just keep getting involved in matches? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point at this point? I am borderline at the
And
point where like my power staying on notwithstanding, I'm just gonna start scrolling Twitter during. Like I'm
yeah.
losing so much interest in them, and it has nothing to do with the talent involved, and it really sucks because the
Well,
talent is putting out some great work with what they're being given.
so that what happened here at the end of this match. So obviously the Outcast were causing distraction. Referee ejected them from ringside. He sent them to the back. And as they were going to the back, Sky Blue tries to climb up to the top ropes, but Ruby knocks her off the top rope. And basically, from the top rope, she hits the no future and picks up the 1-2-3. Just absolutely KO'd Sky Blue with that no future from the top rope. And so Ruby Soho moves on. Uh, were you able to see the QTV world premiere of Rap Class by Harley Cameron that came up next?
I did.
This was comically bad. I don't even know what to think of it.
So I'll say this: was it bad? Yes, it was bad. However, it's better than Top Dollar.
Oh, for sure. I think it was supposed to be bad. Like, it's supposed to be horrible, and I think it was successful in doing that. And it was like, it was funny in that, oh my god, this is so bad type of way.
Yeah, no, it was like it was cringe, but I was laughing.
Yeah,
So
same,
I was
exactly.
like, oh my. I
Yeah,
can't
if you didn't
believe-
see it, I'm sure they're gonna upload it onto YouTube or Twitter. It's pretty funny. It's like a 45-second rap video from Harley, which I have to admit she's not terrible in some little pieces of what she does there, but she's being comical about it. It's pretty funny.
Now, the one part that was great, QT Marshall after the video, he's like, I'm not usually one to be short for words, but I'm just blown away. So Taz and those other two guys, back to you.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I felt too. I was just like, speechless. Okay. Next up, we had Swerve Strickland with Nana versus Nick Wayne. And man, when Nick Wayne came out for his entrance with his own music, Darby Allin was with him there on the top of the ramp. And Nick Wayne comes out down the ramp about halfway, and he just looks out over the crowd, and you just see this giant smile on his face. That was such an awesome moment for me. I've been following this kid for, I want to say, at least 3 years now. Yeah, about 3 years now. So super awesome to see him making his debut here. And man, this
Now,
match, I thought this was an incredible match. What about you?
now, Jeff, we have to be somewhat down on this because despite the fact that it's his first nationally televised match, the fact that it's his first AEW match, the fact that it's probably the biggest crowd he's ever been in front of, not even considering the national TV thing, it looked a little over choreographed. You know what I mean? It seemed, we have to be kind of down on it because other people in the Discord were pretty down on it. So,
No, I did not care about that at all. Matches like this where two guys just have that chemistry sometimes come off like that. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was freaking awesome.
No, I liked the match. I thought it was good. Did it blow me away? Did it blow me away? No, I mean it didn't blow me away, but Ed had some really weird points about this match. He was like, "Oh, why is he working with someone he's worked with before?" And I was like, "That's actually a really good idea for an 18-year-old kid who just turned 18 2 days ago."
Just give him a little bit of confidence, so he's
Yeah,
not
I
so
don't know.
nervous.
He's again probably the biggest crowd he's ever wrestled in front of on national television, live national television.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought it was perfectly fine, and I thought Nick Wayne did a good job, and I'm very intrigued to see more of him in the future. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
That's not what Ed said. That last one was not exactly what Ed said, but
Yeah. But I mean, this match, I thought it kicked ass. I mean, the reverse Hurricane Rana from the top rope by Nick Wayne onto Swerve was insane. Swerve, he went to go do another Hurricane Rana, and Swerve countered it into a nasty, nasty power bomb. So from the top rope, just absolute destruction. Hits him with the power bomb, hits him with the house call, but only picks up a 1.999, or I'm sorry, 2.999. Swerve hits a move I don't think I've seen him do in AEW, but he does his version of the arm breaker where he stomps on your arm to make it look like he breaks the elbow. Nick Wayne looks over at the ref holding his elbow like, "Oh God, I don't think I can continue." But Swerve picks him up and hits the JML driver for the 1-2-3. And Swerve picks up a clean victory here. No interference from the outside, no nonsense, no none of that stuff. So Swerve gets a clean victory on the kid, and this was a great match. I loved it. I loved the outcome here, actually, that they didn't try to give this kid a freak chance victory over someone who definitely shouldn't be losing to him. You know what I mean? So I loved every bit of this.
yeah, again, I thought it was a good match. Really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see more, and I thought it was actually a good call to have him lose, to have Nick Wayne lose.
Absolutely. That's what I was just saying. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm on Twitter because I want to see. So Nick Wayne got the All Elite graphic. Yeah, so he did. I want to see
Oh,
if him and
nice. That's
Kota
cool.
got it. He got it, not Kota.
And Ed says he watched the match on YouTube with Swerve when he was 15. It was very much better. And I think they had like a pay-per-view caliber match back then. This was just a Dynamite match here. They might have held back just a bit, but you've seen Nick Wayne can go. So loved it. Congratulations to him on his first match. I thought he did absolutely fantastic. Next up, we had Don Callis staying true to his word, coming down to the ring alone to announce the 5th member of the Blackpool Combat Club. But he mentioned Kenny Omega's name, and you know how wrestling works. If you mention someone's name during your promo, they're going to show up. So Kenny's music hits, he comes down to the ring, but he is attacked by the Blackpool Combat Club, who were hiding. I couldn't tell where they came from, but they came out of nowhere and started beating up on Kenny. And man, it looks out of nowhere, Pac has returned, and he hits Jon Moxley in the back with a chair. Announces himself as the 5th member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And Kenny says, you know what? We have a 5th member too. And he tells them to look up at the screen. And it shows the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi, will be here. The Hung Bucks show up while they're all watching the Megatron there. And hit the Buckshot Lariat onto Mox and Takeshita. Kenny cuts a great promo at the end here, sending us off the air, and I thought this was an awesome, absolutely awesome finish to Dynamite. Love that we're getting Kota Ibushi. I was not expecting Pac, and I don't think anybody else was either. I didn't see anybody predicting Pac at all. Did you?
No, I was surprised by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool. Something that I really liked was at the end of the show, Kenny says, so we might be down, but we're never out. Next week, Blood and Guts. We're gonna show you guys. It's more than about your fighting. It's more than about your kill jitsu. This is about more than that. This is about heart, passion, soul, friendship, love. Don, you will never prosper. You will fail.
Yeah, it was great, man. I loved that promo from Kenny at the end there. You guys saw the shirt we showed earlier, the Golden Elite shirt. I got to point it out. We now have the Bullet Club Gold and now the Golden Elite, but I think it's just two things that kind of happened to come together at the same time. You know what I mean? But I don't think it bothers me at all to have two like golden things going on. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't even think anything of it.
No, yeah. But this was a great episode of Dynamite. Nothing super spectacular here, but absolutely love the fact we have Kota Ibushi. I am massively in on this. I can't wait. All I remember is the piss yellow Cena shirt. I know, man. It's like shoved in a drawer somewhere. It rarely ever makes its way out. What'd you think of this episode of Dynamite overall?
I thought it was a really good show. There was a lot that I really liked. I mean, again, the only thing that I didn't like, I didn't have to watch because my power went out. I have no idea why the power went out either. It's not even raining. It was really weird. I was like
Yeah,
sitting
that's
there,
odd.
and the timing of it was also really funny, to a point that I would understand if you guys would accuse me of making this up, but I'm really not because I have no reason to lie. But they had the referee, I think it was Stefan Smith. He had literally just thrown the Outcast out for cheating, and I wrote in my notes like more stupid babyface geek stuff, and then like everything just shut off,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay. And then like I checked, and like half the block didn't have power, but then we went like back on like 2 minutes later, and then modern day Comcast cable boxes take like 12 years to turn on. It's like the craziest thing. So I literally
See,
turned back on right after the match had ended. I was like, okay,
See,
whatever.
Ed, that wouldn't work because she hates John Cena. She was a huge Rock fan. So that would not work at all.
She
I'd
uses it
be,
to remind herself how repulsed she is.
dude, I'm gonna have to dig through and find that shirt now, wear it for wear it next
If
week.
it's totally hanging up in a closet to your left, you probably don't.
There's no closets here. I'm in the middle of the pod room, but I promise it's not hanging up. It's probably shoved in a drawer.
Lies.
Listen, when I find it, I'll immediately post a picture in Discord of how wrinkled up and shoved into the drawer that it was.
As soon as we're off the air, Jeff's gonna grab it, tear it off the hanger, just like, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, it's
All right. So what do we got announced for Rampage and Collision this week?
So, coming up this Friday on Rampage, we have the Owen semifinal. Athena versus Willow Nightingale. We're going to hear from the Dark Order. Lance Archer versus Trent Beretta. I really liked what they did here when they announced the Lance Archer match. They explained that Lance has been on a tour of Rev Pro in England and also in New Japan, and he's been racking up wins. He's coming back to AEW with a clear focus. Really liked that they kind of laid out where he's been. Konosuke Takeshita will be in action on Rampage. We're also going to hear from Tony Storm, and Naturally Limitless will be taking on Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. Excuse me. Coming up on Saturday on Collision. Saturday Collision is a big 3-hour show. The first 3-hour block of free television in AEW history, where they're going to do Collision 8 to 10, Battle of the Belt 7 live 10 to 11. On Collision, it will be Ruby Soho versus the winner of the Athena Willow Nightingale match for the Owen final. 2 out of 3 falls for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. The finals of the men's tournament for the Owen, Ricky Starks will be taking on the winner of the tournament, CM Punk, in a losing effort on Ricky's part. The TNT Championship will be going down on Battle of the Belts, where it will not be Christian Cage versus Shawn Spears, but Luchasaurus versus Shawn Spears. Coming up next week on Dynamite, the Blood and Guts match will happen between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Golden Elite. I would expect more of the Collision and Battle of the Belts card to take shape following Rampage.
Man, that's a lot of wrestling we got going on Saturday. What do you think about doing a watch along instead of the after show?
Well, if we do a watch along, I'm definitely not lugging all of this shit into the other room. So it's going to be the camera pointed at me with my laptop in my lap while sitting on my couch. Because
That'll be fine.
yeah, because it's to do a watch along. See, like Jeff, you have your whole setup at your computer desk, which is
Yeah, I
fine.
know.
But I have my whole big TV room with my huge TV and my nice couch. All this stuff is in the next room, so I have to get all the laptop and all these cords that you can't see, and the
Yeah,
camera
I
and
know.
the ring light because the lighting in there is not the best, and the table and the chair, and then I gotta put it all back because that's my TV/gaming room. It's, it's I do.
All right.
I don't mind doing it once in a while for like pay-per-views and stuff, but it's a good amount of work.
I gotcha. All right. Well, do you got anything else you want to go over?
Well, the network wants AEW to do more pay-per-views.
I saw that. How do you feel about that?
I would say I don't want to see them do 12 a year. So here's the thing. Let me rephrase that. If they're going to move to Max or they're going to do some sort of streaming deal, then I'm okay with monthly pay-per-views because I think that would kind of make Tony kind of have to do a little bit more in the booking department that we're kind of talking about how sometimes he kind of just lets things go and until it's time. I think that would actually kind of maybe help focus his booking. But I don't know if I want to see. I don't know. I don't think I want to see a pay-per-view every month. I would say do one every 2 months. Like, I would say 6 a year is a good number. 6 a year, not counting Forbidden Door.
I was gonna say I like what Ed said. 6 plus Forbidden Door would be the perfect number for me. But I find it interesting that Warner wants them to do pay-per-views because aren't pay-per-views not done, through Warner? Like,
Well, so no, they're not done through Warner, but I would assume I actually unsubscribed from Fightful, so I didn't read it firsthand because I'm trying to save a little bit of money with this job switch right now.
yeah.
But I would assume it would probably have to be something along the lines of pay-per-views draw a buzz, and that'll make people want to tune into go home shows. Typically do better in ratings wise. At least I think they do. I don't know. I'm not a ratings. Ed could probably back that up or say I don't know what I'm talking. But I think go home shows should theoretically bring in better ratings.
So Bleacher
But
Report
also
Live
Ed
is
points out BR Live is WBD. So yeah, that too.
okay. All right. Well, like I said, I think 6+ Forbidden Door is the perfect number. I definitely don't want to see 12, like one a
No,
month.
I don't want to see that either.
It's too much. It's not needed. All right, man. You want to go ahead and close us out?
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 157 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Thanks to Ed, Coach, Michael Duke, the Coog, and everyone else. Please hit that like button and subscribe on your way out. We really appreciate it. Please make sure you join us in the Discord and also follow us in our social medias in the description down below. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us again. We will be back on Saturday night for a 3-hour watch along of Collision Battle of the Belts. We will be back on Monday. No, actually, next week, probably Tuesday, for the Game Room podcast, where we'll be talking about, once again, unfortunately, this frickin' Microsoft Activision Blizzard FTC case, because the FTC has filed for an appeal tonight, and I just want it to end. I'm tired. So tired. I'm so glad that U.S. taxpayer money are being spent on the FTC.
So I actually got to say that something sort of good is coming out of this, and that the consumers in America are really now noticing that the FTC does not have their best interest,
Oh, no, not at
at
all.
heart, which they're literally created to protect the consumer, and that's literally what they don't do. So
Oh,
it's definitely opening some eyes.
Yeah, it's completely insane. And like I think I even shared it on like social medias that I don't usually like share. Like I have a Facebook. I don't barely use my Facebook these days.
Yeah.
But I was like, I even put it on there and I was like, hey, like this is for all my aunts and my family that don't do anything else. Like, this is what your taxpayer dollars is being used on. A fucking appeal for video game companies fighting over each other. Like, I was like, this is what's going on. So anyways, yeah, that's the show. I'm gonna go play Fight Forever and beat Cody Rhodes a few more times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Record some of it for me, would you? All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us here tonight. And we will catch you guys on Saturday. And until next time, top guys out.